Hello, I am Becca Rue. You are watching Rue's Musings. Today begins a series that I will talk about periodically throughout these musings called How Yoga Helps. And the first part of How Yoga Helps should be, methinks, to define what is yoga. And what is yoga can be an 8-hour, if not a 10-year, 20-year, 30-year conversation. And I'm going to do it today for us in 5 minutes. And what yoga is shifts for each of us throughout our lives. But right now, this is the most succinct answer I can give you of what yoga is. First of all, yoga is a returning home to ourselves, our whole selves. And inside of yogic philosophy and understanding, I would define the self 2 different ways. The more esoteric and the more meaningful, kind of full picture answer of how we return to ourselves is what we call the capital S self. So it's yourself that is inherently connected to everyone and everything around you. That is the universe embodied. That is not, I am Becca. I am Becca. I am woman. I am yoga teacher. I am 5'4". I like pizza. I don't like to get smacked in the face. These things. That's not our capital S self. Our capital S self is sort of identityless and just inherently connected to spirit, to the universe. That's not where most of us live all the time. Most of us live in our identity self, woman, yoga teacher, whatever you are. So the returning home to your whole self as far as small s self, which we all have. So I don't in any way want to say that capital S self is better than lowercase s self. They're just 2 different aspects that each of us have inside of us. And the lowercase s self, returning home to yourself, is an experience of you feeling like you can be who you are. That it's not modified by who you feel like you should be, of trying to be perfect all the time, trying to be productive. I talk about it a lot in these videos. And this is an easier place, I think, for us to work, especially as we first start the yoga practice, to be able to open to yourself as you are in any given moment, be it frustrated or feeling generous, whatever shows up, you start to be able to open to all the different layers of yourself. This is spiritual, intellectual, energetic, emotional, physical. You open to that part of yourself. So that's the first part of what yoga is to me, is a returning home to yourself, your whole self, capital S and lowercase s. The second thing that yoga is to me right now is awareness, our ability to cultivate our awareness. And this is a magnificent project of a life, of our lives, to understand how you behave inside of your head, inside of your body, and inside of the world around you. Awareness to me takes paying attention, it takes spaciousness, it takes quiet, it takes listening. And inside of awareness and cultivating awareness, we get to practice it every moment of every day if we want to. So that's one of the things I like to distinguish. Whereas if you're working on running a marathon, you only can really train for running that marathon while you're running. Or if you're learning how to garden, in your garden. If you're learning how to cook while you're cooking. Or when you're reading, researching about this. But inside of cultivating awareness, which is the second part of what yoga is to me right now, you can practice it all the time. And it's one of the great gifts of the practice to me, that we can start to watch how other people interface with their lives, interface with problems that we all share, human problems. We can watch how we do it. And we can just become aware. It's a magical experience. The third thing to me of what yoga is right now is discipline. It's our willingness to continually show up. This cannot be underestimated. We have to feel motivated. We have to feel ready to continually show up for ourselves inside of our practice, inside of our lives, really. So to me, our life, your life, my life, is my opportunity to practice being alive. Does that make sense? It sounds sort of simple, but we forget about this. We think that life is about gaining goods. Life is about becoming perfect. Life is about being successful. And I really think life is about practicing living. Practicing how you want to show up, and we have to be dedicated to do that every day. And some days we get a day off, of course. You get time off, you get days off to go play with your dog, to go on a walk, but you're choosing that so that you're aware, part 2, of how you're deciding to show up, and that you're committed. Committed. I feel like I'm doing a lot of hand gestures today. You're committed to showing up in your life every day. in your practice every day, however you choose to practice. And that's the discipline of showing up is also the discipline of continually kind of re-upping your willingness to learn and grow and practice your life, practice living your life. Does that make sense? Got a little lost there at the end. So that's what yoga is to me. First, coming home to ourselves. Secondly, cultivating awareness. Thirdly, discipline, our willingness to show up again and again and again and again and again and again for ourselves. That's yoga. Did I mention flexibility? Did I mention touching your toes? Didn't I mention any yoga poses at all? Did I mention doing, hamstring stretches and the splits? All of that is part of yoga, but it's not maybe even in the top 5, top 8, top 10 parts of what yoga is to me, to most, I think, committed practitioners. I love that part of it, but that's not what yoga is. And sometime in the future, I will start talking about how yoga helps us in our lives. We'll keep going on and on and on about that for all time. Please press share. Share this video with your friends. They'd love to see what yoga is. And find a practice. Find a way to practice online. Please come to Play Yoga, playyogastudio.com. We'd love to have you. It's so much fun. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.